Hey, what's happening, guys? Dan Darrow here with another Options and Play video update. So we are into the start of first quarter earnings season. It is kind of a slow start. Most of the big names don't report towards until the back end of January, but this coming week, it's just nice to have news back because towards the end of December, things slowed down, and even like this week, there wasn't a ton of scheduled news. But now, as we get into January, things are going to pick up real fast, all right? So even though this week might not be slammed with earnings, it's just nice to have earnings season back. And I'm also expecting a lot of unscheduled guidance because it's that time of January where you have holiday sales, updates, also the JP Morgan Healthcare Conference, which typically sees a lot of different guidance from different healthcare names. So it's going to be a busy week, all right? Before the open on Monday, there's really only one name, Tilray. Obviously, the stock has performed very poorly, like a lot of the other cannabis names. It's just about at its 52-week low going to earnings, pricing in about a dollar. Um, I guess you could say maybe expectations are low, and if they can surprise or maybe a bounce, do. But I mean, the chart just really does not look good to me. Um, I guess not having a position right now, I'd rather wait and see what they say first, just because the last couple of times I've traded this name has not turned out great. So it's more of like wait and see camp. I mean, if it is good and it pops, then maybe there's room for like an extended run, in which case there'll be opportunities to get involved. But I don't think I'm going to be taking any options into earnings on that one. After the close on Monday, after the close on Monday and before the open on Tuesday, there's nothing of interest. There's actually not anything scheduled Tuesday after the close. Wednesday morning, nothing of interest. Wednesday after the bell. KBH is really the only name, but I mean, it's not even that interesting to me. It's a home builder. It's priced in at about 275, but those are monthly options. So you have an extra week of time value. My recent rule is to not bend to play home builders on earnings. Um, so I doubt I'll do anything with this one. The sector is more like a swing category for me. Um, I mean, occasionally you'll see a bigger move on an earnings report, but mostly I feel like they're just not as eventful. Um, but once the chart starts looking good again, maybe I'll look at it for a swing trade. The same thing with like most of the other home builders. Once the charts firm up, maybe I'll look at them, but I don't think I'm going to do anything with that. For the open on Thursday, so Delta. So now we're getting into some of the bigger names. About 2 points is what's expected. First airline to report, so it's definitely going to set the tone for the group. I haven't traded the airlines recently, but Delta has made back what it lost on the first Omicron headline, and it's making progress towards the 200A. It hasn't been a huge earnings mover in a while, though, so it's kind of tough to say what this quarter is going to look like. Plus, at 2 points, I mean that's closer to the top end of what it typically moves. Um, but if you're looking to play this, I mean UAL, AAL, I mean definitely sympathy plays. I mean those are like the big three airlines, and they seem to move with one another. So if Delta's particularly good or bad and has a big move up or down, maybe AAL or UAL will move along with it. Taiwan Semi, so really the only tech name reporting next week, and it's a big one. About 7 points is what's priced in. So big chip name just broke out of a real long consolidation, and it's had elevated volume all week without really any news either. Last quarter was a beat and raise, and maybe if the company can deliver again, I mean, it really can confirm this developing breakout because you can see, I mean, above 125 seems to be quite a bit of room to the upside. Plus, the chip names have held in a little bit better across the tech names. So it does seem like there could be a path higher, so it might be something to look at for a speculative bullish idea, depending on where the stock is later in the week. Also, maybe what the options are pricing into come Thursday. Nothing after the close on Thursday, and then Friday morning is the bank bonanza. So JP Morgan, which is pricing in about 5, Citi, which is pricing in about 230, 235 around there, and then Wells Fargo, which is pricing in about 2.25. So you can see just by me pulling up the charts that Wells Fargo has been acting the best, right? But all the banks are actually up quite a bit over the past week going into earnings because of this like really dramatic rotation that's taken place since the start of the year. So in terms of earnings setups, it's not the best. I don't normally like when stocks have really sharp moves right into earnings. I mean, if you're in options already, that's great, right? Because you had a huge move. But in terms of like an actual setup, like if you weren't involved yet, to me, like I just feel like when you have stock that's like straight up, in this case, going into earnings, it just it makes it just a tougher setup, right? Like what's priced in, what are the expectations, what type of numbers are going to have to put up for the stock to keep going, or if it's bad, is there going to be much downside? I mean, for me, I guess what I'd like to see is these stocks maybe hang out, like cool off and hang out in like a tighter range the next few days to kind of just work off the overbought. JP Morgan's not as extended, but I mean still up quite a bit over the week. But again, things that are straight up or straight down into earnings are typically things I avoid. So um, if these names keep running, then they're probably going to fall into that avoid camp. However, I might also look at like either like Bank of America or Goldman Sachs, right, or even Morgan Stanley because they don't report next week. And I guess Bank of America more so, really tends to move with JP Morgan. So, if you're looking for a lower debit way to play it, maybe Bank of America, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, um, but I'd really prefer to see these stocks cool off and chop around for a few days before earnings come. All right. And that's that. So it is the kickoff to earnings season, but it's also still a little bit slower. So we will see how the week goes. We'll see if we get any unscheduled guidance. And yeah, I'm expecting a busy week after this week. It certainly seems like we're heading that direction. All right. So if you like this video and you're looking for more information about trading earnings with options, please follow up with the link in the description of the video for more information on options to play. Have a great night. Have a great weekend. Stay well, and I will talk to you on Monday.